This video is brought to you by WorldSoccerShop.com, offering the world's largest selection of authentic jerseys and apparel for both club and country. Hey guys, Josh from SoccerReviewsForYou.com, bringing you my review plus on-feet video of the limited edition Nike MercurialX Proximo SE in what is technically the CR7 Silverware colorway. Now, as you guys can see, being that this is a limited edition release, it does come in an all black box as opposed to a standard orange Nike box. Remove the lid, you will find that these do also come with a string bag, which is not the norm for a MercurialX Proximo. The string bag is black in color with black strings, features a Nike swoosh on the front in white with a glittery black border, and then on the back side of the bag you're going to find the Nike football branding in white. This is essentially the same string bag that we got with the Gala Glimmer colorway for CR7 in both the Superfly 4 and Vapor 10 variations, with the only difference being the Nike football branding as opposed to the CR7 logo. Other than that, you will of course find this little tag right here, given that this does have the sparkly effect to the upper. It's a little tag that lets you know that as you wear the shoes, the sparkle effect on the upper will start to wear away, something that I actually made a video on specific to this particular colorway, so if you want to check that out, I'll leave an annotation on screen. And other than that, all you're going to find inside the box, as you guys can see, are the shoes themselves. So we'll get these guys out of the box really quickly, and we'll take a closer look at this kind of strange limited edition release from Nike. It's technically the CR7 Silverware colorway, as you guys can see by the silver glittery upper. It doesn't have the orange accents in the Nike swoosh, and noticeably absent is the CR7 branding here on the medial side of the shoe in the heel area. So it's the SE model, which stands for Special Edition. They were very limited. They never said how many they actually made or released, but we do know that they released sometime in mid-April, sold out pretty much instantly. I was lucky enough to get a pair, and they've been on pre-order up until now. So if you are interested in getting a pair of these for yourself, eBay would be your best bet at this point. Like I said, it was a very limited edition release. They sold out pretty much instantly. But in today's video, we're going to be going over all of the details, taking a closer look at this shoe, seeing how it does differ, of course, from a standard MercurialX Proximo, and essentially covering everything you could possibly want to know. So if you are interested in learning more, please stick around and watch the entire video. And with that being said, let's get right into the review. To start things off, let's take a closer look and talk about the colorway. Now, this is obviously inspired by the Silverware CR7 Superfly 4, which is what I have right here, with of course some minor changes that have been made. Now, you're going to find that the upper does have the exact same kind of metallic silver glitter finish to it, which looks really, really good. It's extremely vibrant and it pops really nicely. The only downside is how it actually wears. When the glitter effect on the upper wears off, it essentially shows up as black, which doesn't make the shoe look particularly good. As far as the actual design elements of the shoe are concerned, you can see that on the standard CR7 Silverware Superfly, or any of the Mercurial models for that matter, that feature a firm ground stud pattern, you have a white Nike swoosh with a black outline and an orange outline inside the black outline, which I personally really like the look of. I like the little pop of orange that's included on this colorway, whereas on the MercurialX Proximo SE, you can see they've completely eliminated the orange. That gives the shoe a much more simple look. It doesn't look bad by any means. I think a lot of people would argue that these look better than the actual CR7 colorway, but again, that's down to opinion. I'd be curious to hear what your opinions are down below in the comment section. On the medial side of the shoe, again, on the standard variation, you're going to find the CR7 branding. Again, white branding, black outline with the orange accent there in the C and the R, which again, I think looks pretty cool. Not everybody likes the CR7 branding. And then of course on the SE version, again, something I think a lot of people will personally prefer is just a standard white Nike swoosh with a black outline, which obviously looks a lot more simple side by side, but some people like simple. So if you're one of those people, you probably wanted or did get your hands on this SE version of the MercurialX Proximo. Other than that, they're the same as far as the upper is concerned. You're going to find that the exposed flyknit area of the shoe is kind of a darker blue color as opposed to black, and then you are going to find the black accent here going around the top border of the actual collar, and then of course your black Mercurial branding on the dynamic fit collar as well. Now, being that this is an indoor shoe and not a firm ground model, this shoe does have a midsole which is white in color with a little kind of embossed camo pattern, as you guys can see. Nike logo embossed on the back as well. And then the sole is translucent, which I think looks really, really good. It's a translucent sole with a black Nike swoosh there, and then you're going to find that foot mapping pattern in what on the underside I believe is a bluish purple color. It shows up as a very light purple here on the actual sole itself, which again I just think looks really, really cool. They only made this in the indoor variation for those that were wondering, and again, it was limited numbers, so unfortunately they sold out pretty much instantly. But that's pretty much it as far as the colorway and just a detailed look at how this particular variation, this colorway, differs from the standard CR7 Silverware Superfly. So again, let me know your thoughts on it down below in the comment section. Do you like how these look? Why or why not? And with that being said, let's move on to the tech specs so we can learn a little bit more about the overall performance. When it comes to performance, the MercurialX Proximo is an indoor version of the Superfly 4 with a different name. So being that this is the SE version, it is a little bit different from the standard MercurialX Proximo and Proximo Street in that the Nike Skin covering is not quite as thick. It's pretty much the same layout you're going to find on the standard Superfly 4, more specifically the Silverware CR7 Superfly 4. And again, if you're looking for the same type of feel on the ball that you're going to get from a pair of Superflies, that's exactly what this line, not just this colorway, but this line in general, is going to provide. So you have a Flyknit base to the upper, where the Flyknit is more structured in all the areas here that are covered in this silver glitter material, which essentially is a layer or several layers of Nike Skin, depending on the area of the shoe. So the Nike Skin layer acts as a kind of protective layer for the actual Flyknit itself, while the Flyknit provides the fit and all the structure to the shoe, along with an internal fused on support cage that I can't actually show you inside the shoe because it's actually enclosed. So you do have, of course, the Brio cables that run from the base of the sole into the lacing system. So when you do pull the laces tight, they grab your foot on both the lateral and medial side, keep you locked in place, and really provide an extremely responsive feel. If you're looking for a low profile, relatively lightweight, and extremely responsive pair of indoor shoes, there's really nothing better at the moment than the MercurialX Proximo. You have a more elasticated variation of Flyknit running through the middle of the shoe where the laces are positioned, as well as in the collar. This is a thicker, more layered, more elasticated material that allows for a very sock-like type of fit. When you slide your foot inside, the center part will stretch out a little bit, and it kind of compresses and wraps your foot really, really nicely, even prior to tying the laces tight. And as far as the collar is concerned, it has no stiffness to it whatsoever. It'll feel a little bit strange at first if you haven't worn a mid-cut soccer cleat from Nike before, but once you get used to it, it's something that you don't really notice. But what it does do well is it provides a nice seamless sensation where it feels like the shoe transitions from your leg onto your foot as a single piece, as opposed to something that's just strapped to your foot, if that makes any sense. You still have an internal plastic heel counter there. There is a heel liner on the inside of the shoe, smooth synthetic leather. Again, exactly the same layout as what you're going to find on a standard pair of Superfly 4s. The insole is fully removable. It features a mesh liner on top, and it's made from a single layer of this ortholite type foam, so not the same as a standard Superfly, but it is the same as the rest of the MercurialX Proximo models. It's got a decent thickness to it, and this is what's going to provide the majority of your underfoot cushioning for the shoe in general. Now, being that it is an indoor shoe, it does have a midsole that spans from the heel into the midfoot. In the forefoot, you pretty much have no extra padding whatsoever, other than, again, what the insole provides. So very flexible, no plastic in the construction here, and you're just very close to the ground. If you like to have a lot of impact protection, that is not what you're going to get with this particular shoe. Very minimal when it comes to padding. And as far as the outsole is concerned, normally the MercurialX Proximo in the two available colorways are available in both indoor and turf variations. Being that this is a limited edition version, they only released it in indoor. That's what you're seeing right here. This indoor bottom is made from a translucent rubber, which may or may not perform a little bit differently than the solid rubber that they normally use on this particular shoe. Again, I haven't actually worn this pair, so I can't tell you for sure if it's any better or worse. I would suspect that it'll be very, very similar on an indoor court type of playing surface or even on concrete. And as far as the pattern is concerned, it's a decently pliable rubber, but at the same time, it's stiff enough to where it's not going to grind down really, really quickly. So if you do want to use this as a street soccer shoe, you're going to get good traction as well as good durability. And on a gym, indoor court type of environment, the traction is also very good. And it's also really nice that they include this pretty high lip in the rubber sole going around the toe and forefoot area, just to provide extra durability, extra reinforcement between the bond for the sole and the upper itself. So Again, really good pair of indoors if you are looking for something that's going to provide the feel and just general sensation of a pair of Superfly 4s. And that's pretty much what this shoe is all about. Now, pricing, normally a MercurialX Proximo or Proximo Street will run you $150 US, that's the full retail price, whereas this SE version retailed for $175 US, so it was a $25 premium for this particular colorway when they were available, something that isn't so important now, but I figured enough of you guys probably would want to know. So that's pretty much it as far as tech specs go, and move on next to a quick weigh-in so you can see how lightweight these guys are. In terms of weight, the MercurialX Proximo is a lightweight pair of indoor shoes, but they certainly aren't the lightest pair that I've ever come across. So I'm going to weigh this pair for you today in real time. Keep in mind this is a brand new pair in a size 9 US. I'm going to throw it on the scale, and you can see that they weigh in at 8.6 ounces, the equivalent of 243 grams. So for a pair of indoor shoes to be in that 8-ounce range, that's actually pretty good, and considering how responsive this shoe is, I personally don't mind the weight that they fall under. Again, there are lighter options out there, but they tend to be a lot more minimal, not quite as high quality when it comes to the materials for the upper as well as the sole. And I just feel that at the 8.6 ounce weight range in a 9 US, this shoe really does meet a good standard, a good kind of blend of good quality, good performance, and decent durability as well. So not the lightest indoors that money can buy, but one of the best quality if you're looking for something that's going to be low profile and very thin when it comes to making touches on the ball. All right, so here is a look at the MercurialX Proximo SEs on feet. On my left foot, I have the stock black laces that come with the shoes, and on my right foot, I have a pair of reflective metallic silver SR4U replacement laces. If you're interested in a pair of replacement laces for yourself, check out the website sr4ulaces.com. You'll find a direct link to that website down below in the description of this video. Now, in terms of how these things fit and feel on feet, they're just like the other MercurialX Proximo models. They don't feel any different at all. Essentially, you have the upper of a Superfly 4 on the base of an indoor shoe. Again, very low profile, minimal extra padding. It does have a tighter overall fit. So if you do have wide feet, probably not the best option for you. And as far as how the Flyknit model from Nike feels in the first place, if you haven't worn one of these before, whether it be the Magista Obra, the Magista X, or of course the standard Superfly 4, they feel a little bit strange at first. It takes some getting used to, and you really should break them in slowly if they don't feel perfectly comfortable from right out of the box. Once you do get used to them though, they are a pretty comfortable shoe, and when you do pull the laces tight, you really get a nice responsive sensation. It hugs your foot very closely, no extra space on the inside of the shoe, and when you do make those quick cuts and turns, the shoe reacts instantly, which is really nice. Very flexible shoe because there is no plastic in the construction of the sole whatsoever. And as far as sizing is concerned, I'm wearing my usual size 9 US here, and the fit and length is absolutely perfect. So if you are looking to order a pair of these for yourself, I would strongly recommend going true to size. Another thing regarding the width of this shoe, the Flyknit models do not stretch. It's a very structured knitted material, and then you of course have the Brio cables as well, which aren't going to give. So the way these things fit width-wise from right out of the box is the way they're going to fit for their entire lifespan. So just keep that in mind if you are interested in purchasing a pair of these for yourself. Alright guys, that's it for my review of the Nike MercurialX Proximo SE. Again, this was a limited edition release from Nike that sold out pretty much instantly. They didn't make very many pairs, so if you are interested in a pair of these for yourself, you're not going to find them at any online stores. eBay would be your best bet at this point. You'd have to buy them from somebody reselling them, but beware, they will be well above the $175 retail price, and you also have to be careful of any kind of counterfeit versions of the shoe as well. So just be careful if you do go the eBay route and you really want a pair of these. Other than that though guys, if you have any questions at all regarding the MercurialX Proximo SE, leave them down below in the comment section. I definitely will get an answer out to you. If you enjoyed today's video, found it helpful and informative, be sure to support it with a like. Subscribe if you haven't already for daily videos on all the latest and greatest soccer gear. You can find all my social media information down below in the description as well. And other than that guys, hope you enjoyed today's video, and as always, thanks for watching.